Hello there, it's Paul here and welcome on everyone. The last couple of videos, the review on the salt and pepper mills, hopefully you all found that quite useful, and also the previous one to that, the pen assembly tips as well. At the end of that pen tips video I show the bowl blanks that I got. That's the Binger that I've turned there, and I've got to say that's really nice. Covered in dust because it's been left here in the shed. Whether that actually ever gets to a craft fair or not, or somebody pinches it in the meantime, I don't know. Just your thoughts. If you had something like that, what would you sell it for? Just out of interest. Blank price on that was £10. I finally got onto my segmented pieces. That was the first one I did, and I've got to say the shellac finish on here when it comes up on the outside is absolutely brilliant. The only issue I've got at the moment is just finishing off in the bottom there. I then did the salt and pepper grinders, which was on the last video where I did a review on these, and just a reminder on those, I've made some of these before, but ProCraft have actually changed the size of these. These are now a 5-inch one, where there used to be a 4.5-inch one. And when I got these kits, I didn't look at the packaging, didn't think they'd changed, turned all these down, actually both of them in both woods, went to assemble them and found out that my blanks were ½ an inch too short. These is what I've been working on at the moment, is I'm making some flowers, and the way I do these, I mean, that's the way they're coming out. I've done 2 of these so far, these are just oak. And they're all blanks like this that I got from the local wood mill. And the way I'm doing these is I was just sticking these between centres to start with, just using the skew chisel just to quickly round off the ends, and then put a small tenon on the end. And obviously these longer ones I've then just took on the bandsaw, chopped in half. I've drawn out a rough curved shape on here, and what you've got to do is you've got to do it on 2 faces so that you cut out like that. So once I've got that, got my tenon, I can put it back on the lathe. I can then just quickly true up the outside here. What I do with the inside then, I use I think it's about a 13 or a 15mm drill bit, just to quickly get in the middle there, about 30mm. I also then use a 5mm drill bit to drill right through the bottom. And the reason I've done the 5mm bit is that at least then when I've parted these off, I can then mount them either on a stem or somewhere else. These have just been with my ebonizing solution, so it's the mixture of vinegar with steel wool dissolved in it. And if you've not used this before and wondering what on earth I'm doing here, different woods have different levels of tannin in them, and oak especially has a really high tannin level. And the moment you brush this on a lot of the oaks, and again, different oaks can have different levels, but with this particular oak I've got, the moment you brush this onto there, it goes a real deep black. Just thought I'd just show this process. What I've done here is I've just done the basic shape on the outside. Just need to take the bottom in a little bit further on there, but it just gives me a starter. And I've just drilled a hole in there. I mean, it's there as my fingers there at the bottom there, so you can just get an idea there of how far it is. It turns out it's a 16mm drill bit I'm using, and then I've just drilled right through the bottom with a 5mm drill bit. And I'm just using a small hollowing tool here, carbide. And the good thing about this is because you've got these slots cut out, which hopefully it will show on the camera here, you can actually just about see where you're cutting when I spin this up. So I've just got that running. It's about 1400 RPM there at the minute, and you can actually see through the top here precisely where I'm cutting. I've just sanded the outside here with some 180, and to do the inside, I certainly don't want to stick my fingers in there with these sharp bits here. And a really good tip on that, get yourself some forceps. These are absolutely brilliant, and just the only thing you've got to remember is when you put it on here, just remember which way your lathe's spinning. So the lathe is spinning that way, so you want to wrap the paper around that way, so that at least that way, as the lathe spins, it's going to be keep pushing the paper closed. If I wind it the other way, it's going to open it all up and pop all out. So I can just start the lathe, just to keep my fingers back a bit, so I can just get it located.
If I want it a little bit tighter on there, I can just wind it up a little bit. And I want it to run round further on its own, I can just undo the handle a little bit. I've sanded this to 240 at the minute, and I just thought I'd just give a demonstration really of how the ebonizing solution works with this oak, and you'll see it literally how quick it reacts. Look at that, it's how quick that the tannin in there reacts, and different woods will have different effects. Now, because this is putting a liquid on, it's going to raise the grain as the moisture gets into the wood. I will let this fully dry. I will then sand it back to 320. I'll give it a lighter coat of the ebonizing lacquer because it will still retain a lot of the grey on there rather than being so black, and sand that back again with 400, and then a small coating again, and when it's finally dry just buff it up sort of with the knife web. This has now had the ebonizing solution applied, sanded to 320, ebonizing solution again, sanded to 400, and another coat of ebonizing solution added again. I left it overnight basically because I ran out of time. Just come out in the shed and I have basically applied sanding sealer via cloth. That's feeling reasonably smooth, and I'm just going to use the knife web here, which is the equivalent to about 1000 grit, just to buff over this. Like that. But that is now really smooth. Just a last minute update, I've had a couple of deliveries today. I had a delivery from Axminster, and I've gone for these, which is the 400mm button jaws. Quite a weight actually, and I'm going to do a review on that at some point. The other thing I also had delivered as well was a couple of pen kits. Now these are from a website I've never used before, just basically got these from somebody else who's used them before. It's a bolt action pen and a gear stick pen, so I'm going to hopefully get a couple of blanks sorted out on these and get those turned down so that I can then again do a review on the pen kits themselves and with the assembly. Thanks a lot for watching.